one of the 5 key points for this one is the center. Where is the center of this ellipse? -5, 4. So that would be, oops, I got to scroll down just a little bit. There we go. That would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Right there. Okay. Step 2 says we go A, left and right. What's A? 2. A is 2. A squared is 4. Yep. A is 2. Step 3 says we go up and down B. What's B? 6. 2, 4, and 6. 2, 4, and 6. Step 4 says we can now draw it in. Agree so far? Okay. Step 5 says we need to find our vertices. Vertices are where in words, not on the graph yet. In words, where are the vertices? They're the what of the what? They're the what of the major axes?
The highest point.
The what? Pete? The endpoints of the major axes. Okay? All right? So in this case, is my major axis horizontal or vertical? Vertical, so it would be the endpoints of the vertical axes. So if I don't need to calculate that at all. Like I don't have to go onto my graph and have to count it. Because it's vertical, I'm only going to adjust that number right there. So my vertices are going to be at -5, comma, well, B was 6, so 4 plus 6 is 10. 4 minus 6 is -2. I can add or subtract B in this case because you said it was a vertical major axis. Almost said vertical axis of symmetry. That's 2 weeks ago. Okay. And then lastly, we have our foci. Now, in order to do the foci, I've got to use c squared equals absolute value of a squared minus b squared. In this case, that's going to be 4 minus 36. 4 minus 36 is -32. Absolute value of -32 is +32. So c squared is 32. C then would be the square root of 32. But now we can simplify that in one of many, many different ways. Okay? So if I'm looking at 32, I could look at it. I heard a couple of people saying that it was the square root of 4 times the square root of 8. But the square root of 8 is the square root of 4 times the square root of 2. So then this one becomes a 2. This one becomes a 2. That one stays square root of 2. So then this would be 4 times the square root of 2. Okay. Another way of doing it is you could go 32 is 2 times 16. 16 is 2 times 8. 8 is 2 times 4. I'm going to go down even more. And 4 is 2 times 2. So every pair comes out. One of them comes out. Every non-pair stays in. 2 from the first green circle. 2 from the second green circle. 2 times 2 is 4. And still have that, so in terms of where the foci are located, are they vertical from the center or are they horizontal from the center? They're vertical also. So again, I add and subtract them just to the y part. So now my foci here would be at -5. That stays, comma. My number here is 4 plus minus 4 square root of 2. On the graph, square root of 32 is closer to 6 than it is to 5. So my foci would be here. And there is no such thing unless you're at a tailgate tour stop and you give the microphone to high school kids. They say that out loud. Oops.
Like the 4 with the square root of 2, do you not like add that to the 4 or minus it? You have to leave it like that.
And the 4s can't combine either, so it doesn't become 8 square root of 2 is 0.
Okay.
Back into it, off of our rant. So now let's work in reverse today. Okay? Now, working in reverse with ellipses is actually pretty easy because you need to first identify one thing and then you need to use your fingers to count. Okay? Okay? So the first thing that you need to identify is you need to figure out the center. In this case, it's 0, 0. Okay. Then, from the center, you're going to count to the left or to the right. Doesn't matter. It's the same. What value is that going to give you? So what value is it going to give you? It's going to give you A, right? That's your A. So in this case, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So my A is 5. Then, from the center, you're going to count up or down. Also should be the same. What's that going to give you? B, which is what gauge? 3. Yep. One, 2, and 3. That's all you need to go to. Remember, it's always going to be x minus h quantity squared over a squared plus y minus k quantity squared all over b squared equals 1. So the equation of this ellipse would be x minus 0, so we'll just call it x squared, all over 5 squared, we'll call that 25, plus y minus 0, we'll call that y squared, all over 3 squared, we'll call that 9, equals 1. That is the equation of this ellipse. That's pictured right there. Now, from that, I will tell you that now that you have the equation of the ellipse, now you can find the coordinates of the foci, because now you have a squared and you have b squared. So c squared is going to equal 25 minus 9. 25 minus 9 is 16. Absolute value of 16 is 16. So c then, in this case, would be 4. Are my foci located left and right or up and down? Left and right, because my major axis is still left, or is horizontal. So then this would be, so now I'm going to scroll back up here just a little bit. So now I'm looking solely at because it's left and right, I'm going to add and subtract c to the x part of my center. So that would put my foci at 4, 0 and negative 4.
Right off 4, 0 and then negative 4.
Just fine. Just fine. Questions, comments, concerns? Okay. Try this one. If you need to come up and look at it, actually here I can give you a. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. So that puts me at negative 3, negative 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There's the pertinent information. Agree with my equation of this ellipse. Uh, 25 minus 64 is 39. So then C would be the square root of 39. Since this is major axis is vertical, I'm going to add and subtract it to the y part of the center. So the foci are located at negative 3, negative 2 plus minus square root 39. Oh yeah, this way. Okay? So instead of given a picture, now you're going to be given certain parts of it. Okay? So write the equation of an ellipse with a center at 2, 6. So my center is at 2, 2, 4, and 6. So there is my center. Okay? It has a focus at 5, 6, 3, 4, and 5. It has a focus there. And one end of the minor axes, so that's, in this case, which one is the major axis, horizontal or vertical? Horizontal is the major because that's where the foci are. Foci and vertices are on the major axes. So one end of the minor axes would be right there at 2, 4. Okay? So based off of that, I want to come up with an equation. Well, what is that distance there? That's 2, but what letter would that be? That'd be B because it's vertical, right? Okay? So B is 2. Yes? Okay. What distance is, or what letter? Distance is how much for this one? 3. What letter is it? Do we agree with A? No, you're changing your tune? What letter is it? That's C. C is the foci. Yeah. Now, C is the foci on that one. Okay. We know that this is H and K. So right off the start, we've got x minus 2 quantity squared. We've got y minus 6 quantity squared. And we've got equals 1. Do I have one of the two denominators? Which one? The B one, and that's going to be 4. So this one's going to be 4 because B is 2. How do I find A? Or A squared? I use, yep, exactly. So I'm going to use this equation. What is C squared? 9. What is B squared? 4. So I need to fill in this box. What number minus 4 gives me 9? 13, right? Now I need that 13 to be big, right? Or I need it to be bigger than 4. Is 13 bigger than 4? Yeah. So this box would get filled in with 13. So this would be 13 there. With me? Questions, comments, concerns, clarifications. It kind of takes a little bit to you got to kind of like write it out. And you don't have to put it on a piece of graph paper if you don't want to, but you got to know what you're dealing with. A is the horizontal from the center to the ellipse. B is the vertical from the center to the ellipse. C is from the center to the foci. Okay? Okay? You try this one on your what? You just said write the equation. You try this one. My center of vertex at 6, negative 16. So that's way down here. Which makes this be how much? Just 11, right? Because it's a distance. Okay. All right. And a focus at this. So this value right here is C, right? Okay. So if that's C, then C squared would be that times itself, right? Square root of 13 times the square root of 13. Square root of 13 times the square root of 13. You don't even need a calculator for it. Square root of 13 times the square root of 13. It's just 13. $13 times 3. 39 times 3. So if C squared is 117, is 11 A or B? B. What's 11 squared? 121. What? We'll go green box again. What minus 121, or what's the difference, I should say, between 121 and 117? 4. And if I put 4 in here, right? 4 minus 121 is negative 117, but the absolute value makes it be 117. So my A squared is 4. So the equation then would be x minus 6, was it 6? 4, 6, yep, x minus 6 quantity squared all over 4 plus y plus 5 quantity squared all over 121 equals 1. Questions, comments, concerns, clarifications? You now have enough information to finish off the back side of your worksheet for this meeting. Due tomorrow on Formative Friday.